Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse DC Direct Page Puncher Heatwave. This is a modern version of Heatwave, and frankly it's not the version I'm familiar with, although he does look pretty cool. He's from a new Flash comic. I ordered this figure from the McFarlane toy store. They have the entire Page Puncher Flash Wave in stock right now. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, ages 12 plus, includes exclusive comic book in the English language. DC Direct, McFarlane Toys. It's nice to see that DC Direct logo again. This is how DC Direct is going to live on in action figure form through artist-specific figures in McFarlane's Page Puncher line. DC Heatwave. Here he is in the package. Looks like we have a display stand, collector's card, and a comic book. I don't see a heat ray or heat gun, but it looks like it's built into his arm. One side of the package, Heatwave for the Flash comic, Page Punchers. Other side, got the Page Puncher logo. The bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case it helps anybody. And on the back side, here's Heatwave, and here is the comic. So no further ado, let's open him up. And I got this figure with the entire wave of Flash Page Punchers from the McFarlane toy store. Like I said before, they're all in stock right now. Alright, now that we have this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He doesn't come with any traditional accessories, but he has a display stand, a collector's card, and a McFarlane exclusive comic. But before I look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. This is Heatwave. He's in a kind of alternate modern look. His real name is Mick Rory, and he's a pyromaniac. He's a Flash rogue. So let's take a look at him. Now the figure itself kind of reminds me of a Marine from StarCraft, or maybe Doomslayer from the Doom games. I don't know. Armored suit. He's got a helmet on, you can see, sort of yellow eyes. He's got, I don't know, maybe a breathing apparatus on there. Suit is predominantly white and orange. You can see the texturing on the white parts, a lot different than the orange parts. It's pretty cool. He's got a belt here with all kind of extra stuff on there. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Pretty impressive for a thicker figure like this. Then he has his flamethrower or heat gun on the side here. It looks pretty cool. All in all, I didn't like him when I first saw him, but in hand, this entire wave is way better than I expected. When I first saw him advertised on McFarlane's Instagram and stuff, I just thought the takes were really weird. I didn't really like any of them, but in hand, honestly, I like all 5 of these guys. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle. It says DC on the bottom. It's got one peg for the pegals on his feet, very thin, very basic. Now let's look at his collector's card. As you can see, it's a replica of the McFarlane exclusive Flash #1. It's got all 5 of the characters from the Page Puncher wave. Heatwave, Gorilla Grodd, Captain Cold, the Atom, and the Flash. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now let's look at his comic. This is a McFarlane exclusive, the Flash #1. You can see it's got all 5 of the characters from the Page Puncher wave here. And one thing I don't like about this comic is all 5 of the figures came with the exact same book, exact same cover. It'd be nice if they each came with a different issue of Flash, so you had to get all the figures to find out how the story unfolds, numbers 1 through 5. That's just not the case. And you know what? Okay, I get that, but at least give us a different cover variant. At least make the title The Flash in different colors. Something to make you want to get all 5 versions. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his lack of accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing out about 7.0 inches tall, which can translate to about 18 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up just a little bit and down, not much there. Can't really tilt his head from side to side. Pretty limited there. Shoulders on a ball joint, Goes up about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He does have this butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest. Increase the range of motion, but more importantly, covering that large gap that would be there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint his torso, rotate around, forward and back. Another one in his waist, rotate around, forward and back, giving him decent range of motion in his torso area. Pretty good for a big bulky figure like this. Legs, complete as a splits. Not a ball joint, but a similar type idea. Rotation is non-existent. His legs go forward about that much. Back, not at all. Double jointed knees, go back that far. Then his ankle here, forward and back. Rotate, tilt, rock, at least a little bit. And he's got toe articulation. Gorilla Grodd meets with the other Flash rogues. He explains his plan to take down Flash. Captain Cold and Heatwave both refuse. They have their own agendas. But you know what? Gorilla Grodd doesn't accept no for an answer. He uses mind control power to force them to help him. For this next scene, let's switch to a city-type setting. Here's the Flash running through the streets of Central City. This is his story after all. And a closer look at Flash, running as fast as he can. He's trying to meet up with the Atom, as he's concerned some of his rogues have teamed up together. Flash meets up with the Atom, and just as he's trying to warn him what's going on, in drops Gorilla Grodd. Loud thud. Everybody's favorite telepathic gorilla. He's here to take out these two heroes. Enter Heatwave and Captain Cold. Our heroes are surrounded. Gorilla Grodd has the two of them under his mind control. He's determined to take down the Flash today. The Flash and the Atom, they just look at each other and nod. They know what to do. They both go straight to work. Flash enters a Speed Force, and the Atom begins to shrink down. The Atom shrinks down to a very small size. He jumps up into Captain Cold's freeze ray, disabling it, forcing it to short. Before the Flash and Atom get to take down the rogues, Captain Cold gets a nice shot off on him, starts to freeze part of him. The Flash moves at super speed and gets out of it. Atom is disabling Captain Cold's gun, while the Flash decides to take on Gorilla Grodd. The Atom climbs over Gorilla Grodd's body, working his way toward Heatwave, while Flash keeps the big ape distracted. And before they take down Heatwave, he gets a good shot off at Flash. Unfortunately, it's a swing and a miss. Atom gets onto Heatwave's flamethrower, disables that as well, easily taking down Heatwave and Captain Cold. And now, our two heroes get to deliver the knockout punch to Gorilla Grodd. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures. Starting off with some other Heatwave figures. The only other Heatwave figure that I have is a DC Direct Heatwave from CW's Arrowverse, from the Flash TV show. Cool figure, but not a traditional one. Neither one of these are a traditional Heatwave. Here are all the different Flash rogues McFarlane has made so far. We have Godspeed, although sometimes he's a rogue, sometimes he's an ally, Captain Cold, Heatwave, Gorilla Grodd, and Reverse Flash. Personally, I would love to see a Trickster figure. And here he is, next to a Rebirth comic Flash. Here's Heatwave, next to the rest of the regular figures from the third wave of Page Punchers. Captain Cold, Heatwave, Flash, and Atom. Add in the mega figure Gorilla Grodd, and this is the entire third wave of Page Punchers, a Flash-themed wave. And here he is, next to the second wave of Page Punchers. This is based off Injustice 2. We have Batman and Green Arrow. And they recently revealed Supergirl and Dr. Fate from this wave as well. Then, next to the first wave of Page Punchers, this is a Black Adam themed wave. Batman, Superman, Constantine, and Black Adam. Now let's check him out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the two most recent Mega figures, Mongol and Frankenstein. Here's Heatwave, next to the Amazon exclusive, Tim Drake Robin. And here he is, next to the Amazon exclusive, Batman Family 5-pack. Then, with the most recent McFarlane DC Multiverse gaming wave, this is the sick Joker from Arkham City, and the Arkham Knight Red Hood and Scarecrow. And now, next to the Speed Metal wave, Collect to build the Darkest Night. Here's Heatwave, next to the Arkham City Wave. Collect to build Solomon Grundy. And here he is, with McFarlane's DC Mortal Kombat 11 offerings, The Batman Who Laughs and Joker. Then, with the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, Hush Superman and Rebirth Kid Flash. And now, with some recent gold label Target exclusive figures, the Justice League Endless Winter variant Wonder Woman, Kyle Rayner Green Lantern from Changing the Guard, Black Adam movie Black Adam with Throne, and Defiant Deathstroke. Here's Heatwave, with a couple more gold label Target exclusive figures, Ocean Master, and the 30th anniversary Batman from Batman the Animated Series. And finally, next to some recent gold label Walmart exclusives, Speed Metal Dark Flash, Rebirth Shazam, Parallax Hal Jordan, and Azrael in Batman armor. Now let's check him out, next to some other Heat-themed villains. Here he is, next to the other Heatwave figure that I have. And here he is, next to all of my different Firefly figures. Then, next to a custom Firebug. And here he is, with a custom Phosphorus Rex. And finally, next to a Mattel El Diablo figure from Suicide Squad. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collected figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, it's a pretty nice figure. His accessories are non-existent, but I like the fact that he has his heat gun. The sculpt and paint job are excellent, no issues there. I like the texture on the white parts of his suit, and how it's different on the orange armored parts. His articulation, it's everything you'd expect from a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. A little bit limited because he's so big and bulky. If I were to rate this figure, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Not my ideal version of Heatwave, but it's a nice looking figure. I could see some people maybe doing a head swap and making a pretty cool custom Mr. Freeze out of this guy. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.